Welcome to another episode of Vaughan is Local. Today we are happy to be joined by Meghan at the Bone Biscuit. Thank you for coming, and let's get to know about the cool place that you get to work at every day.
Sure, thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about your company and the history of it?
Sure, so Bone Biscuit, they've been around for about, I would say going on 12 or 13 years now. Started out west in Kelowna. It is a Canadian company. It is small, all locally owned and operated. I am proud to say probably 95% of the owners are women. So we're all small business owners working in the community, and we all know each other through our chat groups and everything. There's about 47 locations across Canada, and now we're expanding even more into Ontario. We just opened up the 8th location in Ontario and the 1st location in New Brunswick. So we're all really happy to take a Canadian franchise that just has such amazing foundation, and the founders are really amazing, and the purpose and the mission of the company is really amazing, and we all believe in it, and we're happy to just roll it out across Canada.
That's awesome.
Great. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that mission and purpose and what it stands for? Yeah,
so Bone Biscuit, where it came from for me is I was having a really hard time getting knowledge on pet food supplements, whether to feed raw, whether to feed kibble, meal mixers, all those questions that most of my customers have when they come in. So I was having a hard time finding information about that. And where I ended up finding that information was in small pet retail. So the smaller stores, the specialty stores, those are the ones that were really helping me through these problems I was having with my dog at the time. His name is Bill Murray. He's a Schnauzer Shih Tzu mix. It's a really sensitive stomach. He had a lot of stomach issues, digestive issues. So we were constantly trying to figure out something that would work for him, where he didn't have to be on antibiotics or vet-specific food. So a lot of myself and my husband are very nutrition focused. So we always read the ingredients on the food that we're eating. So we're reading the ingredients on the food that our dog was eating, and we're like, this doesn't really resonate with how we feed ourselves and nutrition and, whole foods and all that. And then in doing more research with the small specialty retailers that we were working with, we finally found something that works for him. And we're also very passionate about pets. So we decided that we really needed to help fill this market need in Ontario with this small specialty retailer that has a lot of consultation focused nutrition, supplementation, and understanding and knowing about the products that are in the store, so that we can have educated conversations with a customer when they come in general, but also when they have a problem that needs to be solved.
That's great.
So that's where we started. And then when we met the founders of Bone Biscuit, they are very much in line with that same approach to pet food. The founder, Lee Drescher, was having the same issues, and that's how he founded Bone Biscuit. So when we met, we just hit it off. I still text with the founders and head office in general. It's a small team. They're very warm. Everybody just really cares about pets and carrying the highest quality ingredients.
That's amazing. I think that's really awesome because, you do have a lot of questions about that. You go get a generic pet food and you don't actually realize what's in there. So it's great from that education standpoint with pet owners.
Yeah, and I think one thing that differentiates us from some of our competitors is that we have 7 different brands of raw in our freezers back there. Actually 8, and 7 of those brands of raw are Canadian. 6 of them are from Ontario specifically. So we really try to support local as well as being local. But a differentiator between us and some of our competitors is really knowing that product knowledge of the stuff that we carry in the store. And we don't private label anything. So we don't have a horse in the race in terms of like our higher margin private label items. We're not going to push those above, something that might be better for your pet. So that's what I like about it, is that we don't private label anything with Bone Biscuit. So we don't have a bias in terms of which product to suggest to people.
Yeah, well, it's cool. Like you said, there's almost 50 locations, but it sounds like you still keep a very, tight relationship with customers, and with, the conversations you're able to have seem a lot more genuine than what someone might expect from, a big box pet store, right?
Yeah, and those pet stores, I wouldn't really call them our competition, because they definitely have their place and people go there for certain things. But the people who come to our stores are not the same customers that's going to a PetSmart typically. Our prices are competitive, so if we do carry the same item, we usually have the same price. It's just the extra knowledge, and it is smaller, so it's a more personalized experience to come in here.
Yeah, that's great. Do you offer products for all different kinds of pets?
Right now, it's just dogs and cats.
Okay.
Um, Myself and the people who work here, we all have various different kinds of pets, not just dogs and cats. I have 2 dogs, I have 2 horses. Emily's here today. She has a bunny, she has a cat. Skylar has guinea pigs, cats, and dogs. So we just love animals. But right now, we're only selling food and accessories for dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're obviously in a unique time now, to say the least, and
Yes.
hopefully coming out slowly of what's been pretty challenging for everybody. How has this been for you, and how have you prepared to come out of it and make things work with the store post COVID?
So it really took us by surprise, since we just opened up in August of last year. So we're just coming up on a year. So about 6, 7 months in is when this all started happening. And I mean, who knew that something like this would happen in our first year of business?
Mhm.
So that was a bit of a surprise. And as I mentioned before, we do run a tight ship in terms of cleanliness in general, but we really took it upon ourselves to step up the cleanliness of the store and also communicate the things that we were doing to make sure that our customers were feeling safe. We wear masks. If we come out from behind the counter, we have a mask on, just to, again, make sure that our customers feel safe. We've got markers on the floor. For a while, we were only able to do curbside pickup as per the Ford government's restrictions. And I have to say, if it wasn't for this amazing community that we've opened up in, and for the people that we have built in our customer base from August of last year, like, we wouldn't be here still. So the community has been incredibly supportive in terms of like shopping local, taking advantage of our curbside pickups. I had a joke with a few of my customers that my curbside pickup wait time was like 5 seconds, where some of my competitors had like a 2-day turnaround. I couldn't get a plant from Terra Greenhouse within 3 days, but anybody can get dog food from me if we're open in 5 minutes.
That's so great. Yeah, because everybody's getting so frustrated with all the waits and having to just like not get things immediately. So to offer that is really incredible.
Yeah, and also I didn't have, like, we're blessed to be in this community. Not one customer ever was frustrated by the wait time, frustrated by having to call in an order and give their card over the phone. Everybody was really understanding and just saw that we were doing our best to try to make sure that everybody's dogs have food. And the difference between our store and the food that we have here versus the grocery store is I have dogs who come to our store that will literally die if they eat grocery store dog food. So we carry very specialty things for dogs who have a lot of sensitivities and allergies, and this food keeps them alive. So we're happy to be able to make sure that those people have pet food.
Right.
Are you able to, like, when you hear the story of someone, do they normally come to you once they've been to a vet and they've got a specific something they're looking for, or do you provide advice, or that's not really your department from the actually giving, here's what you should try perspective?
Well, kind of both. I'm not a vet, absolutely. So I will never comment on veterinary things. And if a dog comes in here that is sick and needs specific food, vet food definitely has its place. But if there's something a little bit better quality that we can provide here, we're happy to do so. Just based on reading the ingredients of certain brands that are out there that that some vets don't really know what the ingredients are. A lot like going to the doctor. When you have high blood pressure, a doctor will say, here's a pill instead of here's a nutritionist, or here, let me help you with your diet. That's kind of along the same lines as what happens with vets and vet food. So they learn that these foods are the be all end all of treating dogs, but there are other options, and we're here to explore those with people who may want more whole ingredients or a little bit better quality kibble or raw food. So sometimes somebody will come in with a problem that they already know of, and I'm here to help them. Like if they know their dog is allergic to chicken, which is the #1 protein allergy that we see in here, then we can help them discover new foods that might meet their needs. And then some people will come in already on the advice of a vet saying, I need a food that has this percentage of fat or this percentage of protein, or I can only have these specific proteins. And we're here to help a customer understand when they're reading a label what to look for to make sure that their dog doesn't get sick again. Right. Every now and then we'll say, hey, your dog is, these are the things you're telling me that's happening with your dog. Maybe you should see a vet. Maybe your dog has a chicken allergy. Maybe it, so it's conversational. So yeah. Circling back to your actual question is we get both sides, the pre-vet and the post-vet.
Right. Well, some problem solving too, working through things and just kind of talking it out. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody else to ask and, get that expert opinion, which you have being in this business.
And I learn the most from customers looking for solutions to problems. So I love when a customer comes in and they have a challenging question for me, because if I can't answer it in that moment, I'll find the answer and then I'm better off in my knowledge moving forward.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're doing this interview on Wednesday, which I understand is one of your busiest days. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do today?
Sure. So Wednesdays is our busiest afternoon of usually of the whole week. So we do our Nail Trims for Charity program every Wednesday evening from 4 until 7. And it's $10 to get a nail trim for your pup. And 100% of that $10 goes to local pet rescue. So we donate our time. I donate my staff's time, my own time. Sometimes we get a groomer to come in and do it, just depending on who's doing the trimming. And $10 nail trims are pretty cheap. And it's to support a good cause. So as of 2 weeks ago, we donated $1,000 to Fetch and Releash, which is a local pet rescue. They're all foster-based, working out of Toronto. They bring dogs from Northern Ontario. They bring dogs from Southern US. They rehome dogs within the GTA. So they're all foster-based and they're all donation-based. So as I mentioned earlier, they've really taken a hit through this pandemic, because although everyone seems to be getting a puppy, which is amazing, puppies are great, rescues have been pretty much shut down. So all of those puppies are coming from breeders. Breeders are charging 2, 3, 4 times the amount that they would be charging for a puppy in regular times. And all of these rescue dogs who have amazing personalities, who are really good fit for families that have children with other dogs, and they're just not getting a chance, and they're not getting the donation days that they used to get and the adopt-a-thons that they used to have. So they're not getting that FaceTime with the public either. So we're just really happy to help in any way we can those rescue organizations. I got my little Lola from a rescue organization, and if anybody ever came in the store, she's the one that sleeps on the counter, like right there all day long. She's the love of my life. So if I can help anybody meet their Lola through a rescue, I'm happy to do so.
Well, that's great.
That's awesome. So what's next for you now? I mean, you've made it to the other side of a really tough time now, and hopefully things are brighter. So what's the goals, for the year and years ahead for the store?
So well, our goal was to have an event, but for 1 year of being open in August. So we're gonna have to kind of pivot. Everybody's that's the theme of this whole summer so far, is just how can you pivot your business to adapt to what the market needs and what people want. So I think a major thing for us, and what we're going to continue to do, is curbside pickups. So we're happy to take orders over the phone. We're happy if somebody comes in the store as well, but we're going to be doing curbside pickups as well. We'll probably continue that even after everything. And we've been working with head office really closely to talk about maybe a platform in the future that's an order online, pick up in store, or a delivery service a lot like Uber Eats or something to that effect. So all of these things are in discussion, and for small retail that's brick and mortar, to have to pivot into like an omni-channel approach so quickly is a little bit intimidating, but we just need to adapt.
Yeah. I know that's amazing. And the fact that you're able to do that and just, pivot, as you said, I think that's what is the sign of a really strong business, and one that's going to be resilient and keep going into the future. So that's exciting.
Oh, we sure hope so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So for people who want to find you and maybe haven't met you yet, how do they find you? Where are you located? If they want to do curbside pickup, what are all the rules, regs, and information you can give them so we can pass that on to everybody?
Sure. So right now we're not set up for e-commerce, but we're happy to take phone calls. I've even done FaceTimes with customers and like consultations with customers. I usually book those for after the store closes so that we're not interrupted. But they can call us at the store. So it's 905-303-1111. They can also reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook. Our Instagram and Facebook handle is Bone Biscuit Vaughan East. And we're located right in the Rutherford Marketplace Plaza. So we're right beside Whatabaygal. We're 2 doors down from Whatabaygal and right across from CIBC.
Okay.
So
cool.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, we'll be visiting. Do they need to know anything from like, should people be wearing masks if they're coming into the store, or just exercise logic and caution?
Exercise caution. Yeah, we do have, I don't know if you can see any in the background there. No, you can't see them, but we do have decals on the floor to promote social distancing. We wear masks in the store unless the provincial government determines that it's mandatory for people to wear masks, then we'll ask them to. We have hand sanitizer at the counter. We wipe down every handle, every surface in the place multiple times a day, and our terminal gets wiped down between each customer. So we're really diligent in keeping a clean house. Yeah. And if somebody wants to wear a mask, we're more than happy to talk to them through our mask. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, then that's your prerogative, and we will still wear ours and keep 6 feet away from you.
Right. And are pets allowed right now?
Yes, please. So it's really up to you guys if you allow us to pet them, but we're more than happy to throw treats from 6 feet away. And I'm happy to pet dogs. I know I kind of take I'm a little bit lenient on the dog petting thing. It's I really try to hold back, but it's hard for me.
Yeah.
Because that's why I do this, is to pet dogs for a living.
Right.
But yeah, so if we are restricting it to 4 customers at a time in the store, because we are only 1,600 square feet. So we just want to make sure that there's lots of space. If there's a small customer group and they're sticking together, we'll allow 5 people. But we'll still have that conversation like, hey guys, to allow more people in here, do you guys mind sticking close together? And everybody is so understanding about what we're trying to do and how we're trying to make other customers feel comfortable in the store. So we use our voices to help people make more space so that somebody doesn't feel like they need to say, hey, give me more space. Mm-hmm. We try to do that for them. And yeah, hopefully they're comfortable to come in, and we're happy to have dogs come in. We love it.
That's great. Perfect.
Well, very cool. Well, this is a perfect example of why, like you said, the community, this is why we're so happy to talk to Vaughan businesses, because we're a special group of people. So,
and this community is amazing. Like, I feel so supported here, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, that's great. It gives me chills, because I agree with you, and it's so true. It's a wonderful community, and we're happy to support you. And
if you'll trim my nails, I'll come in on Wednesdays.
Do you do like mani-pedis?
There's lots of people looking for those.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, we don't do humans, but we do guinea pigs and rabbits. So
okay. All right.
And dogs and cats. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, Meghan. We really appreciate your time. And
anytime. I can't wait to see you guys and your pups.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too.
You too.